God forbid I spent $29.99 on a PLE for, instead of 8 matches on the card last year, on a 2-day event, I'm getting 13 matches on the card in a 2-day event. The only explanation, TKO and at least get something out of the celebrities to justify the additional 2 card slots that are not getting any of the featured talent that were televised for monthly programmings. Like, no Solo Sokola faction, no Wyatt 6, I haven't been in part of a PLE in several months, no Io Sky, no Chelsea Green. Even though it's due to injury, they're not giving vignettes to injured, but she's doing backstage segments that go nowhere to get heat, or any type of segments to at least carry traction. No Carmelo Hayes. No Rey Fenix. No, I think Rey Fenix is in the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. But you know what deserves to be there? A Dominic Finn Balor feud that hasn't gotten any traction since 2023. These niggas have dragged this so much, it makes me miss the time when the Core were facing the Nexus, and they made it an angle at the WrestleMania 2011 pay-per-view that it justified 40 men to be in the Rumble. Yeah, bro, all that for Mason Ryan. Are you kidding me? I wish I could be more optimistic. I really wish I could, man. And yet WWE just wants to just sell me off to just dopamine alone and Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll and wasting a whole second mortgage to watch a pay-per-view that I might not find saving, knowing that I'm going to watch a 2-night event like I'm in a fucking Coachella and I'm 30 years old. That's WWE for you. As soon as I get anything, it's Balor Dominic that you could have had at a Saturday main event. Thanks you guys for shoving this heel turn, knowing that Balor ain't gonna get pushed after all this. The night 2 opener will involve Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. Just off pop alone, even though you could have put the Intercontinental title 6-pack ladder match instead, that would have been more exciting. Even though we know damn well Rusev ain't winning, or JD McDonough. Trick Williams and Sami Zayn might be a decent spiel, even though the crowd has generally finally actually turned against Sami Zayn as a top babyface to get pushed over in the scene. And Trick Williams, hopefully he gets over on Sami, because really, who needs to see more winded out 15-minute victimhood promos of Sami Zayn to make him feel like he's important? Jade Cargill and Ripley, I feel like he's going to drag, but be exciting. I wouldn't mind Roman Reigns and CM Punk, but it feels like it gets less heat involved with them just jabbering middle school insults at one another. You're unk. Well, you're a bitch, and I hate nepotism. And your dad's dead. What the fuck? Who's the babyface in this scenario? And then we got Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and ISHO Speed, all because he accidentally brass knucked LA Knight. This could have been a main event on Raw. This could have been a main event on Raw, gang. Other than just seeing the Usos when they were supposed to be pushing Jey Uso in that whole segment involving him getting aggravated with CM Punk, just to push him back over to a tag angle with the Usos, and all because they're fighting with LA Knight. What's the direction? You're not even having either Logan Paul or Austin Theory get squashed over by Seth freaking Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins got to waste time with Gunther. Why? And don't you dare tell me about the women's 4-way tag match for the women's tag titles, bro. All I know damn well is whoever's going to win the titles after they lose to the other tag team, they're going to break up and get a whole angle for the women's title that it's going to drag out for 4 months, and then you're not going to see it on at least until like 2 PLEs because AJ Lee and Becky Lynch just stealing your spot. And God forbid, the best angle in this entire... Like, the best storyline, I'd say, in this entire WrestleMania, I have high expectations on the unsanctioned match for McIntyre and Fatu, because it's personal, it's using legitimate storytelling, going over the real factor of personal shots, involving the criminal history of Jacob Fatu, pushing over a real underdog story over with Jacob Fatu in a redemption style, while McIntyre shaming it, while the accusations of trying to cost him the world title. both men with actual heat in the game, something that involves making McIntyre feel mega dangerous, even though that nigga quit like 3 times. And then we got Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. Either than Noggin from Nemo segment in the backstage, I feel like this kind of fallen flat. And then we're gonna have Pat McAfee with Randy Orton doing these work shoot WCW 2000s promos to feel like any segment of this is over the internet's fault of why you guys don't like Cody Rhodes. I don't give a damn. While out of all this, the only energy to contract that you guys didn't care about Cody Rhodes is segment is over to revolve around what happened in 2007 all the way to their end of legacy into costing, like, we have 20 plus years of storytelling here. All the way from 2007. And then you guys want to complain why we don't like Cody Rhodes, and you want to then agitate that to work shoot it's Mark's fault why Randy Orton's not getting heat. And now it's turn off the TV heat. Now it's go away heat. Nobody was watching your show more, and the algorithm's just proving it, and the dislike ratio is proving it. To try to appeal to whatever vocal minority you want to try to feel like you're being objectified, just for them to not give a shit about Cody Rhodes if he retains. And that there's more gradual bias that Randy Orton is more favored to win the world title? Why should that even concern you? Tell a fucking story. For God's sakes, this not even grabbed over the general populace. Even for Travis Scott, that was coming from a big record-breaking album, and then you thought he was going to get heat over the storyline with Cena and Cody. And that guy was the only guy that showed up instead of The Rock. This PLE is going to be either the biggest headache of the weekend, but the only upside, I got a reason to order pizza and have friends and family around, while WWE is probably going to be asked to bring another C-list celebrity that hasn't been relevant. Watch a Lil Nas X show up for no random reason. Geeked up out of his mind, half naked, to just push over like at least 1,500 viewers that thought he was still alive. Like, comment, subscribe how you guys have felt of the build for WrestleMania this year. And how long until you feel like John Cena is just going to do a segment involving him getting a cheap pop call for the populace and give somebody an AA and still nobody gets over? At least one thing happened. Royce Keys showed up on SmackDown after debuting like back in January at the Rumble. We out here.